Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about happiness. And I'm also going to be talking to you about my career as a performer and as a director and as a theatre producer and how I've come to be where I am today, here in a basement. I have two daughters. One's age 16, just turned 16, the other is 20. And I have always encouraged them to dream big. Reach the stars, as I say, reach the stars, you'll at least get the moon. And my 16-year-old wants to be anything and everything. She's got all these big dreams. And she said to me, Dad, I don't know what I want. Mum wants me to do this, and you know, I want to do these other things, and you say this, and you know, what am I going to do? And I said, listen, hey, listen. I believe that doing what you love in life, even if it doesn't make you wealthy, will provide you with greater riches than you can do, or spend your working life doing something that might pay well, but will never provide the satisfaction that you yearn for or missed because your desire for money or power or prestige silenced that small, quiet voice inside that was crying out for meaning and purpose. Oi. What did I just say? Oi. I told you to not listen to your iPod when I am philosophizing. Kids. I'm amazed actually that they have any idea of what it is that they want to do when they get older. They've sort of got these plans already sort of set. I didn't have a clue. When I was a little boy, not that I'm a big girl now, but when I was little, I didn't have any dreams or ambitions at all that I can recall. None. I only knew things that I didn't want to do. Didn't want to stay at home, didn't want to go to school anymore, and did not want to be a mechanical engineer. It wasn't until I was 26 years of age, I was travelling through Europe and I was on my way to Greece. I stopped over in Munich for a week and I saw this guy busking in the street. I'd never seen anybody perform live before, ever. This is my first theatre experience. And there was this guy performing in the street, doing this gentle, funny show for all these people who were supposed to be shopping or on their way to work. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to make people late for work and forget to buy food for their children. The first day I went busking, I took my guitar case down to the Fußgängerzone, put the guitar case down, took the guitar out of the case. I was, as the Germans would say, with anticipation full. Put the guitar on. Guitar case is about there. It's in the middle of the street. Pretty nervous. Give it a strum. Tune it, make sure it's in tune. Put the guitar back in the case. I went back to the gospel. And it was snowing. I was outside this pub that was frequented by a lot of tourists, and these two American girls listened to me sing two songs, and they gave me 2 Deutschmarks. I actually got money for singing 2 songs. I tell you, I was so rapt, I took them inside the pub and bought them around the drinks. But that really gave me the courage to go in the next day, and I sang the next day for about 2 hours solid. I don't remember how much I made, but it was exactly 14 Deutschmarks. It doesn't sound like much now, does it? But back then, that was bugger all. But that was my start. That was the start of my career in show business. The things that I learned in the street are actually very appropriate to running business. Things like, for example, marketing. How do you market yourself? Well, I just shouted. What about dealing with competition? Well, there's a few approaches you can take. There's the Scottish approach, which is to cut the guitar strings with wire cutters of your opposition, which is what happened to me. Once, when I was busking outside Covent Garden, I was singing and this guy came up and said, "You're finished here, pal." And I said, "Oh, no, I've just started." He says, "Yes, no, you don't understand, you're finished." And he cut all my guitar strings. I said, "Oh, yes, I'm finished." Right. Now that happened, coincidentally, about 20 metres from a theatre called the Novello Theatre, which is in the West End. And that's the very same theatre that I hired about 2 years ago when we put one of our musicals in the West End. So I was busking outside, virtually, the theatre that I hired years to come. The things people will do for you when they trust you. I'll tell you one little story, one of the little things I used to do. And it was a bit of a conspiracy, actually. I would say to the audience, okay, this used to work when there was at least 500 people and there was 2 or 3 deep. Okay, I'd say, listen. Okay, I want you all to pretend that where I'm standing now, there's a little invisible mouse, right? So I want you all to look down there, but you can, in your peripheral vision, watch what I'm doing. And I'd stand over here in the audience, okay? So I'd be part of the crowd. So if you were to look at the crowd, you just see a crowd of people looking at nothing. Now, and I said, if I clap, you all clap. If I cheer, hey, or if I laugh, you all laugh. So everyone would do this, right? So I'd be standing here, everyone would be looking down there at the mouse, might go like that, and everyone would go, and then we'd all go, the whole crowd would start laughing for nothing, right? And the new people in the street would be attracted by the laughter, and they'd come up and they'd go, what is it? I don't see it. What's going on? I don't see anything. Yeah. It's crazy, what is it? And then, of course, then the people who were there would be pissing themselves laughing. And the new people going, I don't understand what's going on. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. And of course, that would attract more people. You get all these tons and tons of people coming and watching. I once had, I'm not exaggerating, 1,000 people watching absolutely nothing, being highly entertained for 10 minutes. Our level of embarrassment is very much linked to our level of empathy. Did you know that? It's a primordial thing. The reason why we get embarrassed is because we don't want to be out of sync with everyone else. We want to fit in. And people who, that's why I love people who blush, you know, because they've got a very high level of empathy, because they're so embarrassed about being different. And they wanted to give me money, I knew that. But they were too embarrassed to do it. So I had to devise a system to overcome their embarrassment, or a system where no one would be embarrassed, because everyone would be in the same boat. And I'd give the first few people notes. Okay? In those days, that would have been, well, I used to give them 10 Deutschmarks and 5 Deutschmark notes, which was about $10 and $5. Okay? I give the first 5 or 6 people those notes. Then I'd say to the audience, listen everybody, it's time to pay the busker now, this is what we're doing. By the way, cheapskates, you can leave now. A couple would leave. I say, this is what we do. I take my hat, right? I said, the busker is going to now collect the money from you, and you just put your money into the hat. And the first 5 or 6 would put these notes in. I said, I don't want coins. Unless you use them to wrap up, you know, unless you wrap them up in some paper, because they're too heavy, they damage my shoulder, you don't want to hurt me. The more you give, the more I have. I had all these, you know, ridiculous lines there, so I keep chatting. But what happened was, even though this was a complete setup, everyone could see clearly. Guess what happened? Everyone else did the same. Because they were allowed to be, I gave them permission to be generous. And the rest of the people, I'd get a few coins, but mostly I'd get a lot of notes when I was going around collecting. Because they, and the other thing was, not only did I give them permission, but also that thing about, you know, perception. They think, oh, he's asking for more money, yes? Yeah, he must be good. I'm doing and directing a play or one of the musicals, and I say, you're doing the most important job in the world. Don't forget that. Remember back to when you were 5 or 6 or however old you were when you got that inspiration to become a performer. It's the most important job in the world, because you are going into a sacred space and creating something special. And you never know what effect you're going to have on someone in the audience. And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. If you do it well and with all of your heart, you can have that kind of change, or you can affect people. It's just a smile you give them. You could change their whole day. And I believe that doing what you love in life, even if it doesn't make you wealthy, will provide you with greater happiness and riches than if you're not even listening.